Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Get rid of this fucking bottle. Recycle that. Made it in the sink again. I need to, like, have less power of throwing those fucking empty bottles. Keep it in the sink. Look at you, you little sleepy baby thing. Why do you have to look so damn cute? It's forbidden. I forbade you to have such cuteness and absurdity. Early on stream? It's not really that early. I mean, I guess it's like, I guess it is technically, because I usually stream these when I get off work. Save me from going down a Christian rabbit hole again. Why would you do that? Don't do that to yourself, man. And that's not a loophole to start that as a convo. It's like, we're just gonna put it there and be like, all right. Why would you put yourself in such a? Because you're sad. Okay, you want to know what, like, you can look at that makes you not sad? I could find unsad things. Hold on. That have fuck all to do with that. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I could find a thing to unsad you. Show Zukov. Well, he's kind of busy doing a thing. Zukov, you got? Yeah. Look at you. Oh. Who's the big boy? Who's the big boy? Who's the big boy? Who's the big boy? Who's the baby little boy? Oh, that's just so cute. Oh, now he's coming over here. Oh, hey, baby. Come here. Oh my goodness, you sweet little baby. Yeah, you just wanted me to give you some love, didn't you? Oh, yes, you did. Look at you. You were confused to fall down, weren't you? You were just like, what noises were you making? What noises was I making? Baby. You little sweet thing. What the fuck was that? You just smacked my knee. He just went, Guess you got to wear a bandana. Wear maybe a red one. He has a black one that has in red text Union Dog on it. He already has a bandana. A custom made one. And I ordered him. I'm planning on giving him ordering a number one, okay? Like, I don't need to give him this one. I'm ordering bandanas, damn it. Or I get him printed. That somebody's doing, you know, that can give to me and he could be a sweet little puppo. He almost lost it once, though. He does really do really great with bandanas. I need to find a way to, like, keep those, like, attached to him. Have a Union Cat one. I mean, Bandit doesn't like anything on him. Like, Bandit's Bandit. Like, he doesn't want a collar. He doesn't want anything on him. Like, he's not going to be about that. I mean, I would if he was okay with it. But I know for shit, you know, he won't, so... I mean, to be fair, I guess I never really have tried to have a collar on Bandit, but, I mean, there ain't no way I really want to do that. Bandit's fine being the liberated fluff that he is. He doesn't need to have a collar. Zukov, though. That dude's not there now. now, dude. Bandit's got like a fucking the most absurdist fucking like the most absurdist of things. When it comes to just his meows and shit, it's just like, bruh. Wait, Brandon Herrera, Russian missile magnets and dad bods? What in the fuck?
Meme review. What is up, you sexy
Whoa.
lovers? Gun. Meme review. What is...
Yo, whoa. Holy shit. We just got like... Jesus, I was not prepared for that loudness. I was like, what's this? It's like, gun meme review. What is that? It's like, whoa. Whoa. I haven't even done anything to like... to bring forth. I was going on Twitter earlier and nearly cried when I saw someone that shaved a swastika and a German Shepherd. Whoever did, like, the dog is fine. Like, the dog had no qualms about, like, well, it had qualms about that. It had some of its fur shaven off. I mean, if anything, the dog hates that just as much as we do. So, if anything, I think it's most acceptable if not just the dog, but anyone, you know, frankly, you know, had the ability to just, I don't know, just kind of just beat the shit out of whoever did that. As for the dog, well, I guess the dog can't really beat the shit out of somebody, but they can maul the fuck out of somebody. So just let that German Shepherd get him and his buddies, you know, like get his German Shepherd bros and be like, yo, look what this fucking piece of shit did to me out the back here. And then they all be like that, like, yes, boo! And then they all start getting all like, you know, all aggressive and shit and charge forth into battle. And fucking maul that motherfucker. And have for dinner. Sukov! Okay, we get it. We get it, bro. You played your part. Like, God, dude. Oh, I could tell those eyes. Those eyes are dilating for another one. Yeah, so what's this all about?
Mother lovers, welcome back to another episode of Gun Meme Review. I'm your host, Brandon Herrera, and I need a fucking haircut. On tonight's program,
no, you don't.
Memes about Ukraine, memes about Scott and Demo Ranch, and more gun meme goodness. First, let's delve into a couple of the memes that have come out this week about the war in Ukraine. Or, excuse me, military operation in Ukraine. Like so
well, actually, it's, oh my god, I just looked over just at okay, I was gonna say something, but then I just saw this. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's just, oh my god, someone literally memed a Scooby-Doo van. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. In honor of Scooby-Doo vans everywhere, man. I don't even know what I was about to say until I just saw that. That, like, killed whatever fucking thought process I was about to fucking put forward. Oh my god. I am actually kind of thoroughly amused with this one. Oh my god. Oh man. What the fuck?
Does it feel like a military exercise? Now's not the time to split up and look for clues. Let's load up in the mystery APC.
The mystery APC! Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
Fucking mystery machine that they were deploying in Ukraine. Although
I mean, I love how they just really I love how there was legit that Scooby van. There was multiples of those things. Like where did they like appropriate a bunch of like Scooby-Doo vans and just like painted them like olive army green and then put Z's on them? Zukov!
Shut up! Damn, dude!
Fuck me! Zukov! Like,
we're all home!
You butt! You bitch! You prick!
the anti-armor stuff they've got floating around in that country right now, you could not pay me to be mechanized cavalry right now. Anything with that Z on it is like a missile magnet. I'm good.
No shit. Like, honestly, it's not just that, but they also have, like, V's, A's, and X's, yeah, depending. And it's just, like, honestly, yeah, I would not want to be, like, it's making me realize that actually being, like, not a part of, like, being, like, not in a mechanized / like, armored unit would actually be an absolute fucking blessing. And honestly, it's starting to make, like, Modern Warfare look like that armored vehicles are actually starting to look to be obsolete. Which is so fucking weird, because, like, not even a little over 100 years ago, it was seen as the turn of the century, but now they're starting to become more fucking obsolete. You know, due to modern technology. It's just like, what? Man. How, like, warfare legit changes like that over the course of a fucking 100 years? Where, in a mere 100 years ago, like, a form of tech is now more or less neutral or obsolete in comparison to other tech, you know, just surpassing it. I mean, it's like, honestly, like, armored tanks and shit like that aren't really as useful as they used to anymore. They are, but, I mean, when it comes to all this, like, anti-tank, you know, missile systems and anti-tank rifling systems and all this other shit, drones, amongst all this stuff, like, honestly, if I was in any conflict, there ain't no way in fucking hell I'm getting inside an APC, a tank, or anything. Fuck that. That's a magnet. A magnet for missiles and death. No, thank you. Like, not about that.
3-mile convoy headed to Kiev. I'm the guy who's always taking a leak in the woods about 40 yards away from all the vehicles. Things are getting so bad, troops are deploying.
It's the core at its core, the war never changes. Men do through the roads they walk. Yeah.
Conventional methods of vehicle protection. Leaked. Cope Cage V2. Pros. Lighter.
Oh, wait, a Cope Cage V2, lighter, mobile, boost, can bounce on. Cons, still doesn't work. It still doesn't work.
Still doesn't work.
No, got the Javelin cages.
This is definitely
I mean, they technically do. They work once, and that's kind of the point. They're meant to be kind of like a one-time stopper, you know, so it's like... I mean, so it makes it less likely for that Javelin to actually damage your overall tank, and you can still be operational, and makes that Javelin crew have to reload it, or at least have to set up another Javelin and fucking shoot you again. So it's, I mean, it's iffy at best. It legit is iffy at best. Like, it's been proven, at least so far, that it really doesn't work as it's thought of. It's a nice idea in theory, but it really doesn't work. It's only worked, like, sometimes.
Situation for Ukraine, which isn't just limited to the Ukrainian military and the civilians that they've armed. They're also taking in foreign volunteer fighters from all around the world. The only problem with that is sometimes that can get a little awkward. Retired U.S. Marines joining the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. Veteran Taliban also joining the Ukrainian Foreign Legion.
Oh, shit. No way, that is actually true. Unironically, there are, like, some Taliban that are joining the fight for Ukraine because of, like, the past, you know, with Russia during the Soviet-Afghan war and shit. Like, you know, there's probably some, you know, old grudges, so to speak, with that. So you got, like, some of these probably even older Taliban fighters that are out there in Ukraine, too. And then you got, like, U.S. Marines who are, like, you know, in Afghanistan and shit. And then it's just like, oh, shit, fam. I was shooting at you, like, a year ago. And now we're on the same side. Cool? It's like, that's kind of true. I mean, also, it's just, like, not just that, but, like, you got fucking, you know, like, Syrian volunteers that are also helping Ukraine and Russia, too, on both sides, on the front, which, as you can imagine, that's probably a very interesting back and forth, you know, when it comes to interactions with different foreign volunteers. Honestly, those foreign legions must be kind of like memes in themselves. Just honestly, like, just because you got, like, these people who might have actually been in conflicts with each other, but now they're, like, buddies. So they told me, I can't believe I'm gonna die with a Marine. How about with a friend? Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's just, like, I guess, you know, it kind of shows, like, down to the inner nature when it comes to, like, humanity. If there's, like, a common fight that, you know, people are in, there's still gonna be, like, this kind of, like, brotherhood, like, kind of, you know, camaraderie in a sense. I mean, because obviously we've been seeing that so much with the Ukrainian forces, especially with these foreign legions. Because you got, like, people literally from all fucking walks. Like, you got fucking far lefties, you know, there, as much as, like, fucking neo-Nazi types in these foreign legions. And it's just, like, when you got that going on, that's kind of an interesting combination. You know, and that's a weird combo. I wouldn't necessarily want to be assigned with any of them, but, you know, it's just like, alright. You know, but, like, that's just going to be kind of the par for the course. They're going to get, people of all sorts of walks of life and spectrums, kind of being in these legions and shit. That's why I welcome alien invaders. Nothing unites humanity like a common threat. I mean, I don't really welcome alien invaders because we'd all either be, like, enslaved to eaten or just, well, like, we all die. Like, I mean, that's just kind of the root, so it's just like, nah. I mean, I see the sentiment, but it ain't gonna be like a War of the Worlds situation, where we can kind of, like, fight back after we gather some of their tech and shit. Like, it ain't really gonna work out like that 100%. I mean, maybe a little bit, like, there might be, like, some degrees, of where that might happen and shit, but it's gonna be, like, too little too late type of shit.
No.
My enemy is still probably a little sour.
I gotta...
What's worse is that you could probably take this one a little deeper, too, if you want to.
Make sure
Retired U.S. Marine joining the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. Veteran
Wait,
talent.
what?
I gotta watch Chad's place.
For the weekend? Oh, okay. So just make sure cats are fed and...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're on the...
Simple as.
They're just right inside the living room.
Yeah. You never know, it could be like a War of the Worlds where human viruses kill the invaders. Human viruses? I mean, yeah. I guess it could be. In that way, but the thing is, it would be not humans that did that. It'd be life on the planet that did that. I guess in this case, viruses. Impossible, like, parasites and bacteria that they just have no immunity whatsoever and can just easily wipe them out, like the bubonic plague, for example. So, I mean, it wouldn't be humanity, but like that would inherently do it. But I guess if it realizes that that's a major weakness for these, for like an alien invaders type of scenario, which is also kind of citing the premise of a lot of fucking things, by the way. But we're just gonna leave that out of it. But it's just like, I mean, like that would pretty much be the only real way to do it. Or it could do that in whatever space aids that aliens have kills us. Well, yeah, it will be back and forth, like the pathogens, viruses, and whatever, bacterial, parasitical infections that those aliens are gonna have. It's gonna do just as much fucking damage to us as much as our pathogens and shit. So it's just like, honestly, it'd basically be like an extinction of, just on the virtue of bio-warfare. Most likely unintentionally. Though I think for humanity it would be intentional, because we try to exploit that weakness. And also, for us at least, especially for a lot of different diseases like the bubonic plague, for example, like, we already have plethora of medical treatments that makes it very survivable. So, I mean, obviously you have to treat it, but, and catch it, as quick as possible. But nonetheless, it's just like, it's not a threat to us anymore. So we can easily harness, these certain, infections and bacteria and not even do anything with them and just massively expose, swath areas, of regions that aliens have control over and just let nature do the rest, basically. Because, I mean, they might be able to have a accelerated ability to research and potentially resist, but they got a lot of pathogens. Just having one ain't gonna fucking do it when you got plethora of all sorts in your fucking toolkit. So it's just like, I mean, having like a massive like cocktail, bomb, like cocktail bombs of different pathogens and shit, exploding in these regions, it could probably be very devastating. Not so much for us, because we, have means and abilities to protect ourselves, but for them, not so much. But that's, again, positing if that were to even happen in the first place, sliding a lot of different premises by and all this other shit, so. I mean, I guess I don't eschew the idea of aliens coming to visiting us, but, I mean, all in all, I don't even necessarily think that would unite humanity. I mean, even if they were invaders, because there would be people who would worship them as, like, saviors, despite that. There would be people that would think that they're actually like some weird deep state cabal and they're not actually real, or something, or vice versa, where, they finally show themselves, they've been here all this time, or whatever the fuck. I mean, honestly, even then, there's not really going to be a mass unity, with that. I mean, there'll probably be a lot more unification on these different ideas, but there will definitely still be fractures.
Ukrainian foreign.
Yeah, there it is. It's right. Oh, same meme.
Seeing the equipment that they left behind in Afghanistan. All of a sudden, it seems like those extra helicopters and rockets could have come in handy. I mean, at least in this case, they'd be putting it to use against somebody who isn't us. Well, at least the ones that the Taliban hasn't crashed yet. Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, or a Ukrainian soldier what that weird patch means. Yeah, the Azov.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, the Azov, huh? Mm-hmm.
Overdoses on based a little bit. It's like Special Forces 4chan edition. You don't ask a woman.
4chan edition. Oh my god, that's a good way to put it, actually. At least in meme terms. Brandon, good. Good on you, boy. Good on you, my friend. Azov, unbased. They're just Special Forces, but 4chan edition.
A Ukrainian soldier, what that weird patch means, or a German company, what they were doing between the years 1939 and 1945. Pretty sure Hugo Boss leaves that bit out of the About Us section on the website. Now, to tell my last video about some of the weird guns that are popping up in the Ukrainian conflict, you recognize this gentleman. Mentioned all we need is an Alton helmet for him, and he's Little Tachanka. That kind of got me thinking, so I fired up Photoshop and...
Little Tachanka.
This is one of the first gun meme review submissions by me. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Little Tachanka.
Little Tachanka. Oh my goodness.
Do with that format as you wish. So, before we move on from all the Russia Ukraine stuff, we gotta do it to you. Marty Robbins meme. Shitposter ballads and other associated...
Got a javelin on his hip. Javelin on his hip. Oh my god. Instead of big iron, it's just big javelin. Got the big javelin on his hip.
Marty Robbins. Big and long. The Cope Cage. The Bayraktar Menace. 160 dead Russian tanks. St. Javelin. Where's my goddamn fuel? VDV got ratioed. VDV got ratioed part 2. Little Green Men. Kyiv, not Kiev. No air superiority? VDV got ratioed part 3. Babe, wake up. The Ukrainian farmer stole another Russian tank. It's not gay to simp for Zelensky. Copium snorting tanky. Seriously though, who the fuck planned those VDV missions?
Okay, those are pretty funny. Okay, I have to admit, there actually are some pretty fucking funny memes coming out of this conflict.
Firing a real javelin, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, I'm probably not ever gonna be able to do that, but you should subscribe anyway.
Oh my god, I want to fire a fucking javelin. Just for the sake of it. I mean, just like, like, set me out in the middle of the field, just have like some abandoned ass, like, you know, just grab one like the already busted up, like, BTRs or some shit in Ukraine. Just set it up there, and just let me shoot it. Just let me have my one chance to have a St. Javelin boom boom moment, you know what I mean?
A little far out of reach, listening to like a...
Everyone should have their St. Javelin boom boom moment. Everyone deserves to have their little boom boom moment. Well, unless they're on the receiving end of it, then they probably shouldn't have that boom boom moment, but, you know, I mean, but if you have it, then everyone should have their own boom boom moment, you know, I'm just saying.
Hands on an RPG. Not like my RPG, like get some rockets for RPG.
Oh, fuck you, Venom, with the Wilsonville show.
You could miss out.
Come on
Move
down,
on from
St.
Ukraine.
Javelins of Wilsonville. You are a vile son of a bitch.
I wish I had chesticles.
This one from Garant.
What?
I wish I had chesticles.
Chesticles?
Yeah. Because then we wouldn't need women. We could just play with our own.
Well, maybe transhumanism with, like, crazy nanobot, like, augmented, like, nanotech and shit. Because then you could do whatever.
But then you gotta realize, you wouldn't need a woman because you would have one.
You just kind of...
I'm kind of right?
I think every dude's had this epiphany at least a few times in their
I've had
lives.
this epiphany for a long time. I have a pair of testicles. They're just in Vancouver.
I wish I had Brad Signar's roommate.
Somebody give me.
I mean, I think we all do, at least, you know, a few times in our lives, or more.
What, wish we had chesticles?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a vagina too, that'd be fun to play with. I would have a no-no square.
A no square? I mean, it's still technically...
Shut up, because I'm coming back. I'm going to get food because Uncle's hungry.
And I know you're gonna boof like a silly boy when he comes back.
Fucking boof when I come back.
You boof boy. I wish I had Peter Griffin chin balls. What the fuck? I want to see what this meme is.
So let's move on from Ukraine and onto some other gun memes. This one from Garantham. I strive to live my life with the same energy as Muldoon. That guy was the fucking OG. If you're too young to remember who this is, he was from the good Jurassic Park. And I've also seen Garantham posting a lot more Spaz 12 content. Gee, I wonder what video he could be coming out with soon.
Oh, he might be making a Spaz 12 video.
I'm honestly just impressed he could get his hands on a Spaz 12. They really never brought that many into the country, so they are super expensive, super rare, very sought after. I'm honestly surprised he was able to get his hands on one. Just remember, kids.
Oh, well, he actually is friends with Brandon Herrera at Grantham, so that actually makes total fucking sense. It's like, I wonder how you could be making that video. Oh, I have one. I fired Spaz 12. Oh, you lucky bastard. Oh, I loved it. Shoot a Spaz 12. It'd be pretty cool to own one, but honestly, I'd more want to just shoot it.
Legation. But speaking
Such a cool looking shotty.
LAS Concealment has finally dropped the Makarov holster that we've been waiting for, and they kind of memed on me in the process. Behold, the custom Brandon Herrera print Makarov holster. Also make them for Glocks and
My stepdad's buddy, ex-paramilitary and has a small armory. Damn, bro.
Jesus photo, the Man Mosas, of course. They also include the photo of my stolen motorcycle. Gone, but not forgotten.
Oh, damn, his motorcycle got jacked.
So if you want to check it out,
Gone, but not
links in the
forgotten.
description and in the pinned comment where you can check out how to
That's actually kind of a... I mean, I'm not much of like a crazy meme like
memes of my boy.
thing like with setups like that, but honestly, that's a nice. That'd be a nice little fun thing to take out on the range occasionally.
Me, I'm gonna hit the gym and start eating healthier. Also me, all you can eat barbecue.
Oh, you can eat barbecue.
Starting to heal, I can finally actually do regular shit again. Get your head out of the gutter. So I'm thinking here in the next couple weeks we're gonna go ahead and do that fitness challenge. Gonna turn you fuckers into the sexy YouTube mother lovers you know you can. Should also probably curb my drinking a little bit. But until I'm fully healed, bottoms up.
Full auto
Yes,
Israeli
Silicon.
Lucy.
I know.
A full auto? Oh,
I live in a house.
you lucky son of a bitch.
It's a long story. It's a short story. I want to get the fuck out of the city. Further out in the country and closer to my friends like, oh yeah, Demo Ranch. Brandon, bringing guests on to GMR. Matt. Well, come on, I did film some collab stuff with Matt and Scott 2 weeks ago or something like that, which still more of that's coming up. Matt, if you're watching this, you are welcome on Gun Meme Review anytime. Well, yeah, that's right. I forgot. We snapped Scott in for his Gun Meme Review appearance. Well, it's time to get Demolition Ranch on Gun Meme Review. Oh, that's right. It doesn't work. Matt's rich. Ah, well, it was worth a shot.
It'll stir rounds, will fire all of them in 3-4 seconds to feel the trigger.
World War III. Was that a Drewski cameo I spot? Well, the good news is you can still focus on the stuff that you can control.
It's me turning my life around 2022, World War III. Oh my god, it's kind of a little bit true with me, honestly. It's despite, some bullshit here and there and all this other stuff, things are actually kind of been looking up. Got a puppy, contract that should be ratified and successfully, done up here pretty soon. Like 19th, right? Yeah, and it's, about 2 days, 3 days about, so it's just shit's actually, not looking too bad, but it's just and also, hey, Walter's back here just what's up? How's it going? It's just can I help you? I don't need you. I don't need you in my life, you bad influence.
Until it does, we will continue to act as if it intends to spin on. And yes, I just paraphrased Nick Fury. Get over it. My drill press and brand new rifle. Me and my boxers and nods strung out on focus sugar. Rookie cop, my parole officer.
ATF, FBI, and the DEA.
You guys are fucked up, man.
Oh my god.
Hang out with us. Where'd you get all these parts kits? Isn't there an import ban? Point number one, mind your own business. It's kind of like those dudes on Instagram flexing their kit, and some of that stuff has never been sold to civilians before, meaning the only way to get it was that it fell off a truck. None of my fucking business, like I said. Seriously, Fort Bragg military surplus stores, fucking wild, man. Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret?
Honestly, yeah, there's a lot of different possibilities, ways, and means in order to fucking, acquire things, I mean, honestly.
Thinking about 2019 ammo prices. Oh, yeah, remember a time when 3 cases of 9mm wasn't a mortgage payment? I feel like I'm just becoming one of those old, gun show boomers. I remember when those AKs were $200 and you couldn't give them away.
Keep all the
Back in the day, Grandpa. Although I'm jealous that you got to live through that.
Yeah.
Unicorn guns and priceless parts.
Now,
Brandon, 5 milliseconds later. The Lance. Brandon's FBI agent. The ATF. Yeah, I've probably fumbled and dropped or, moderately.
How much is 9mm ammo up there anyway? I also don't know because I don't really look at it. What?
make sure my door stays closed.
No one's gonna be going in there.
Other than that, well, I'm not worried about you, just the critters.
They're not getting in there.
No more cats, no more dogs.
Took off. Come here. Get over here. Hey. Come on.
Unicorn guns and priceless parts. Brandon, 5 milliseconds later. DeLance, Brandon's FBI agent, the ATF. Yeah, I've probably fumbled and dropped or, moderately dropped priceless weapons and weapon parts more times than I can shake a stick at. I'm surprised somebody hasn't made a compilation yet.
There probably is going to be a compilation now. How much a shotgun sells? For the target loads, they're like $9. Game shot loads are $12, and then like pretty much everything, and those are Remingtons, and everything else is like between fucking like 14, 15, 20, 25, up to like $32 depending on the brand. So Winchesters, I've noticed, tend to be a little bit more expendy.
You can see it and have to hand fit.
Oh, there's a compilation already here?
Me, trying to find a place to heal. Some kitted out USEC guy. This happens to me so fucking much. You'd think as much
Escape
as
from
I play
Tarkov
that I'd be better at it, but you would be wrong. And speaking of Tarkov, I'm probably going to be playing that on Twitch a lot more in the next few days, so I'm going to be trying that out, maybe even after this video goes live. Who knows? So if you want to follow me on Twitch, you can go ahead and check that out. I will leave the link in the description and the pinned comment. Come hang out whenever I decide to do that. Gun control fan. Average automatic weapon enjoyer.
Just a Chad, just simply a Chad.
You should have a semi-automatic AR-15. I agree with you. I think they should all be select fire.
Yeah, select fire, where people can choose. Buckshot for $12 a pop. Not too
Fire
bad.
all those guns and ammo. It does not matter what it is. I will be ready. You know what's crazy is the...
Doesn't matter what, I shall be ready. I mean, I guess it is a true meme.
I've been looking into that a lot, like some of the prepping stuff. I realized, nobody thinks about preparing for shit until shit actually happens, which is, again, what just fucking happened. We had a little bit of a scare like this because of the COOF, but now, we're getting it again, where it's like, okay, well, shit, what happens if an EMP pops off? We just completely fucked. I don't know, I've been giving it a lot more thought,
Yeah, I want to be in a situation where I'm a little less fucked, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Being generally prepared for whatever happens. Well, I mean, having more guns and ammo than a third world militia is a pretty good start. But things like long-term food storage, water filtration, fair...
People just revert to bow and arrows. People will just revert to making their own ammo. A lot of people have ammo presses and drill presses for that type of shit. Or reloading presses and reloading benches. So, all in all, it's just like, people just start, making their own. and just having like their own little like gray market of ammo. And I mean, on top of that, like, I mean, not all ammo is necessarily going to be, you know, getting higher and higher. It just kind of depends on where it's coming from. But a lot of fucking ammunition, at least especially for certain ammo, like 7.62, is manufactured in places like fucking Russia, or in Albania or Serbia. So it's just like you got a lot of these ammo manufacturers that, you know, at least especially right now, aren't necessarily, you know, looking fondly looked at, mainly Russia. And there's also other ammo manufacturers that don't ship over to the U.S., or at least, you know, not in like bulk at like, you know, stores and shit like that. I'm sure if, you know, a private, you know, seller, you know, on their own or a private buyer wanted to like contact like a Polish ammo manufacturer, I'm sure they can get a hookup. $4 a buck. Yeah, 22 LR is cheap around here too. I mean, 22 is like always going to be pretty cheap. I mean, even if the price rises, you know, with the rest of the ammo, 22 is still in tandem with all the other prices, will still be pretty cheap. I mean, it's like a little fucking plinker bullet. Like, I mean, it's still a deadly bullet, but I mean, all in all, it's what you go out, you know, on the range to kind of plink a bunch of cans with, you know. So it's not necessarily like something that people are seeking, you know, strictly for home defense. I mean, it's actually not bad for it, but it's not like the main thing that, you know, people are going to be looking for. But I mean, some people, at least just especially due to affordability, you know, will go for that.
Things like that, you know, stuff that I never really gave a whole lot of thought to. So I started getting into the prepping thing a little bit. I don't know, I just think it's a good idea, just especially like, even the freeze in Texas last year when I moved. It wasn't some big apocalypse or anything, but I was without food, without power. Shit can break down so fucking easily, and it doesn't have to be some world-ending thing.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that doesn't help that, you know, Texas Energy Grid is literally a privatized, utter fucking shithole corporate nightmare. I mean, you know, and utterly cut off from the rest of the energy grid from the country. So, I mean, that doesn't necessarily help either. And of course, Greg Abbott, you know, decided to be a scum fuck and let, you know, thousands and thousands of people fucking freeze and let a lot of the rich fucks, you know, a lot of the more upper class of Texas, you know, continue to get their power and shit. And get their heat. Don't knock 22. I've seen what 22 could do. At least on the internet, I have for shit around side screaming brains for. Well, yeah, like I'm saying, like a 22 is fucking deadly. I ain't knocking it, but at least when it comes down to like the general, like stopping power of, you know, of a bullet, like, you know, if you, I mean, that's, you know, with the head. If you shoot someone in the leg or the arm or in their belly region, like, I mean, yeah, we'll put them down. Like, it's gonna fucking hurt no matter what. You're getting shot, but like that's gonna fucking hurt. But as for full-on sheer stopping power, it's like, you know, it's not like as stopping in comparison to like a 38, 45, 44 mag, you know, or whatever the fuck, you know. Like, there's other guns and different calibers that people usually seek for when it comes to home defense. Because honestly, you know, some people think shotguns, but that's actually the worst idea. Because that leaves big holes. You know, it's like if you use that in your home or anything, then you're going to have a big hole in your house. Or a bunch of holes. So it's better to have, like, you know, a sidearm like a pistol or something like that, you know, or, you know, especially more smaller caliber, because then it leaves a far more smaller hole. But that's why I think, honestly, like, 9mm and 22s are actually probably better for home defense. You know, that's why, you know, I'm not knocking the 22, because, like, even if you miss, it's just going to leave this tiny little, like, imprint, you know, in the wall. And it ain't going to go fucking, you know, potentially shoot through, like, 3 layers of walls and go, you know, fucking push through another wall in your neighbor's house, you know, probably hitting the wooden fence in between. It's like the bullet's, you know, going to probably hit the fence and probably get embedded in the fence before it even, like, exits the house. I mean, it'll probably not even be able to exit the house depending on where you know, shoot at 22. I mean, that's why, you know, especially I think for home defense, it's actually probably better. Because, I mean, it's far less likely, it's not impossible, it's just less likely that that bullet is, you know, if you miss, you know, for, you know, because that's just a very likely possibility, that it won't go through your house and into someone else's house and potentially get somebody else. So it's honestly, I think, just better, practically. Because my friend was thinking about getting a revolver that's chambered in 22 LR, and it's like, honestly, if he does, I think that'd actually be perfect, because let's say hypothetically there's a home defense situation that that ends up where you might need to use it, then that'd actually be perfect, when it comes to the likelihood, or at least the unlikelihood, the minimalization of it, potentially being a stray bullet going into someone else's home. Because obviously, when it comes to a hypothetical home defense scenario where a firearm is used, even if it is like, a justified, very meritable situation, there's still a likely chance that, a bullet may stray and go into someone else's house. Or into the other apartment next door or some shit. I mean, honestly, especially with apartments, it's probably just better to have a 22 because it might just get embedded, like in between the walls, depending on how thick they are, I guess, but it just kind of depends. But that's why I think, maybe a 22 overall is just practically, at least, is better. I mean, I guess if you're thinking about wanting to stop an intruder, I guess like a high caliber would probably be better, but all in all, a 22 is best. Just for practicality's sake.
I actually think it might be a cool B-channel video if you guys are interested. Kind of looking into my prepping setup, I guess, a little bit, and like critiquing, seeing what I have, what's good, what's bad, what I need, like the gaps in what I have, I suppose. I don't know, I think it might be fun. Let me know in the comments what you think. Or if you think that I've lost my fucking mind. Anyhow, that wraps up this episode of Gun.
At least that's what a lot of people think of preppers. They're like, oh, you lost your bonkers. But it's just like, not really. I mean, I do think there are some people who are quote-unquote like doomsday preppers that are legit kind of lost bonkers. But, I mean, it's just like, I do think there's at least, some legitimacy to people that actually do have, the quote-unquote like doomsday prepping kind of mentality and do that on the side. Because, I mean, especially when it comes to a lot of different, late-stage capitalistic shit that's going on, I mean, legit, there's going to be a plausibility that, shit just dead-ass will fucking hit fan. And, at least when it comes to certain things, like, like prepping, not just necessarily when it comes to guns, but just when it comes to, like, just the basic needs, like some med kits, food, ways to purify water, not just having water, ways to store it, having things to store water in, just all these other things. Like, maybe some seeds, to have stored up, and then if, where they can be used, to cultivate with over time. I mean, just these different little things, play a major role into potentially, at least kind of faring a little better over time, depending on, how fucked it gets in your general region. I mean, because it might not, because the whole quote-unquote doomsday preppy thing isn't necessarily for, like, global fucking shit. I mean, I think it is. I think it kind of helps, exacerbate, or intensify people's, ideas or needs, for wanting to do that. But, I mean, at the same time, it's just like, it's more or less, for a regional scenario. Like, if there's, like, a major national disaster, like, I mean, if you have some stuff that you're prepping with, then you're going to definitely be far better off than most people. I mean, when it comes down to it, all the guns and all that shit's more secondary. They're definitely very useful when it comes to at least keeping potentially, unnecessary, intruders, or unneeded people around, away from you, or, potentially to hunt if you don't have a means for food. At least immediately, so you can probably go out and try to find a buck or, find some form of game. I mean, so there's, it's not necessarily just for, like, other people, so to speak, but it's more so as another tool. Like, I mean, that's why me having a shotgun, it's not necessarily just, good as, just a defense type of weapon, but also can be, it's more built for it, but it's excellent for hunting. So it's just like, if I, especially, and I want to anyway, but it's like eventually over time, if I, start learning and getting down on the craft, at least on things like pheasant and shit like that, again, just that alone, I'd fare a lot better off because I'd at least know how to hunt something and then be able to, feed people if I need to, and myself. So, It's just like, you know, it's just little things like that. And of course, the major underlying, you know, pin to it all is just, you know, being responsible, safe, and, you know, and just, you know, being respectful of the tools that you have. You know, and understanding what they do and what they are. Get you an 8 gauge if you want to break your arm every time you pull the trigger. I do see 10 and 8 gauge ammo at a Sportsman's, and I honestly have always wanted to ask one of them, is it okay if I just open the box just to see what the ammo looks like, you know, but I don't think they let me do that. I think they'd rather me buy it first, just because they feel like I might, you know, take a bullet or something, but hence why I want to ask them and do it right in front of them, just so they can be like, hey, I just want to see what it looks like, pull it out, look at it, put it back, and, you know, seal it up and put it right there, so they know I'm not trying to fuck around or nothing. Buy a box for the lulz. What would I do with the ammo? There's no way in fucking hell I'm putting it in that, because I'm not trying to kill myself with that and have that blow up, so no. Like, if I don't have a need for it, I'm not going to buy a box of ammo for it. Unless I know somebody has, like, you know, an 8 gauge. I could ask somebody, then I'm like, hey, you want a box just for the fuck of it? Ammo review. I mean, I could do that now, right? With the 12 gauges. I have, like, all sorts of different assortments of fucking 12 gauge over here, dude. Here. Big bud. It's heavy. Oh my god, I have a fat assortment. Ugh. Okay. That's heavy. Oh, I don't know if I showed this yet, but got my bandolier in recently, so too bad I can't buy B-Bad shells. Yeah, I can. I can order them online. I found places where I can buy them online. But anyway, so I have a bandolier right here, which these here are. Can I help you? Which these here are Winchesters. Winchester 12 gauges right here. And these are turkey shots. Which I believe these are about 260 FPS velocity, which is actually a tad bit higher than the light load gas piston on my shotty, so I actually try to avoid using these because these have a fucking punch to them. Do you mind, baby? Baby. You want a treat? Here. Stand up. There you go. But anyway, but I also in here have some more of those Winchesters rounds in here. But these are the last. I have about 20 rounds of game shot, which are these Remingtons. Have you ever used slugs? Yeah, I've shot slugs. But and all of these are 2 3/4 inches, so, or 70 millimeters. And these are also Remingtons, but these are target loads, like clay shots and shit like that. So they all have like a little bit of, they all have like color distinctions, you know, between them. But in here, these are what the target loads come in. The ones I just showed, so they just kind of come in these 25 boxes. And in here, I have my other, the rest of my Winchester rounds in here, but also these 3-inchers, these 3-inch Winchester rounds, which these are same thing, turkey shot, but well, as you can imagine, a little bit more of a kick. So, but yeah, I've fired slugs before, but they're hasn't been any since I've been going in there buying some, so it's just like, alright. Ooh. Smack. Ugh. There we go. That's pretty much all I got at the moment. Alright, 5, 10, 15, 20. I got 20 right here. Plus 50, 70. I have 120 plus... I think I have at least about 140 shells, give or take, right now. So at least as it stands, I don't necessarily need to go get new shotgun shells anytime soon. Though, at least for the ones I really need, though, like target loads and shit, it's kind of, I need that. Because I still need to get a heavy load gas piston for that fucking thing. Before I start using all these other rounds I have. Like the game shots and the target loads, like, it can handle those fine. But outside of that, I mean, not too much. Baby, you fucking Fruit Loop! I know. What's up, bro? What is up, bro? What is up, bro? What is up, bro? You big baby boo, big baby boo, boo 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 boo. Booba. You absurd booba. What is my baby? What is my baby? Oh, okay. Sukov's big Fruit Loop. He is indeed. Up. So gentle about it. But yeah, this is also why this thing is so fucking heavy, because it's like, goddamn. There's a lot of, I mean, here, I can actually do this real quick. I did the smarts. Okay. Make sure all. Fucking God. Make sure everything's actually all properly in order. Oh, no, it works. Totally. But that's okay. I don't expect them totally to be fashionably on order. Alright, how do I do this without fucking this up? Alright, you know what, I'll just do this. Whoop. But, there you go. I actually don't know how much is in here specifically, but there's 5 right there. 7, these are my 2.5 inches, or 2 3/4 inches, and these are the 3-inch ones. So, I have them at least organized, you know, by having these ones flipped and these ones facing that way, so. Slide those, whoop, like that, and whoop. I could probably fit, like, a thin box of something here if, like, the 5 shell box of, like, Hornady slugs, but I don't necessarily need to get those anytime soon. They're fun, but I don't want to, like, accidentally blow up that fucking gun. that would be bad. Oh, look at this. You silly goof. There we go. I prefer 20 gauge just because the recoil is a bit easier to handle than 12. Oh, you baby. And you're better baby! It'd be more of a baby! Look at you, baby. You absurd baby. Look at you. Look at you. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Look at you. Oh. That's a big goof. Oh. Oh, the baby. Look at you. Look at you. Mwah. I guess this is just straight up what he wanted. He just wanted to be here. Just want to hang out. Look at you. Oh. You just want to be cuddled with. Yes, you do. You just want the cuddling and the snuggling. Oh my god, you big silly baby. You big silly baby. Oh. What? What? Whoa. What are you doing? What is this? You boy of absurdity. Think he'd eat all the treats if you left them out for him, or would he be a good boy and leave them in? No, he would eat them. Oh, I know he would. There's been times where I thought I could trust him, and somehow he's been in here. He would eat up all the treats. So, like, there'll be times I think, alright, if I just leave him in here and just, like, store the bong and a few other things and make sure it's all secure, at least to a certain degree, it'll be okay. I come back home, everything will be fine except for all the treats and a few other things where he would ravage. Because he just get anxiety ridden and try to chew everything up because he misses me. You big boy. You big baby. You're just a big baby. Okay. Are we having fun here? Takes a cop to work day. I literally couldn't do that. That would not work. I work in a food environment, like you couldn't be back there. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do? Huh? Ugh. I like how you just don't care. You just kind of... It's like, well, I just kind of been plopped and fell. You noodle. You fucking noodle. You ridiculous little fucking noodle. Too bad I like him even if he dislikes me. I think he just says chat as in just the amalgamation entirely. I don't think he actually dislikes you. Right. You fucking fruit. You fruit. Thank God. Alright, bro. Like, come on, dude. There's What? What the hell? Man, you're just being a noodle right now, dude. Is this seriously what you wanted at the moment? Because guess what? You're sliding away. Sliding down. Whoop. Oh, you sweet baby, look at you. You're such a goof. You're such a goofball. Probably should. 3 more, so 2 tomorrow. 1 more for today. See it? Paw? You gotta give me a little paw and shake. There it is. There you go. Oh, what a goof. What a little goof. He needs to stop being such a ridiculous goof. It's absurd. It's absurd. What the fuck? Pelosi gets weird with Ukraine and Bono? What the hell? Huh?
About the snakes with his prayers, but that's not all it takes.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi read a poem by Bono about Ukraine. And I don't know why. So I'm going to play this. This blew up online. There are countless articles just ripping this apart.
Did I miss this?
It is so bizarre. And it's one example in a long line of examples of Nancy Pelosi doing really weird things. That I will get to those later as well. So first, here we go. Here is this this poem. It is what it is, but here you go.
Bono has been a very Irish part of our lives.
Bono has been a very Irish part of our lives? What the fuck does that mean? What the hell? Huh? That's just weird. What the fuck?
This. He said, "Oh, St. Patrick, he drove out the snakes with his prayers, but that's not all it takes. For the smoke symbolizes an evil that arises and hides in your heart as it breaks. And the evil risen from the darkness that lives in some men, but in sorrow and fear, that's when saints can appear, to drive out those old snakes once again. And they struggle for us to be free from the psycho in this human family. Ireland's sorrow and pain is now the Ukraine, and St. Patrick's name is now Zelensky."
What the fuck? I don't know. I'll do that a second. But, like, what the fuck? Just, like... Oh, wait, it's just Nancy. Yeah, it's just Nancy Pelosi.
We are ready. Okay, we're ready to...
God damn it. What? Fuck you. God damn it. Piece of shit.
The Riverdance 25th anniversary show straight here in the capital of the United States.
And then she brings out Riverdance.
So what'd she do?
Okay, we're ready to welcome the Riverdance 25th anniversary show straight here in the capital of the United States.
What the fuck? Riverdance? What? So she's gonna do like some weird ass like fucking. I don't even know what. Like, come again? It's just like. First, there's like some speech that honestly, or like some poem thing that honestly has like fuck all to do with like with the war itself, aside from just like it's about like St. Patrick's Day or some shit. Like it literally has nothing even to do with it. And then there's fucking a river dance thing. So there's like she's just gonna get out some random motherfuckers to do like some river dancing or something. Like what? Someone needs to just get her to a fucking retirement home, man. Someone needs to just get her to the retirement home or the hospice home at this fucking point. Get her to the fucking Egyptian tombs where, you know, she needs to belong as the crypt keeper. Like, I mean, she's literally like 3,000 years old. Like, fuck. Like, for fuck's sake.
Riverdance. The invasion of Ukraine, brought to you by Bono and Riverdance. Look, before I get to reactions,
And Nancy Pelosi's weird ramblings.
some funny ones, because I think we all need to laugh. This just trivializes the invasion, the whole issue. It's I don't know why Pelosi feels the need to do stuff like this, and again, I have more examples coming up, but it's this constant obsession with popular culture, trying to insert it into serious issues, and it just landing completely flat. I think Nancy Pelosi, I think she thinks she lives in like a television show, and this is just part of the act for her. It is really bizarre. But
Because it's a fucking theater. I mean, that's all like politics ever really has been now for a while. But I mean, especially with that type of shit. I mean, she probably thinks she's literally on like the fucking like Golden Girls or some shit, or like fucking like, you know, trying to be like one of the female nurses in MASH or something, or like, you know, I don't, it's like some, like, she's just, you know, like, feeling like she's probably in like some weird ass old fucking like 1980s era fucking sitcom or some shit. It's like, I mean, it's like, it's not even just a fucking political game for her. It's just like, she probably just lives in some weird, like, dementia-addled La La Land.
A proper way to refer to Ukraine, but whatever. That's a whole, there's articles about breaking this down. I don't care enough to do that here. I'll link to those articles below the video. But this ultimately just trivializes this whole issue. And if you're going to do something like this, at the very least, use a Ukrainian poet. Bono, I guess, you know, it's St. Patrick's Day. That's the theme. So what, you're bringing the Russian invasion of Ukraine into your themed party for St. Patrick's Day? Like, it's so stupid. But let's laugh.
That's just like what liberal woke scoldy virtue signal pandering does, and that's what it is. Like, this is what it does at the end of the day. It doesn't give a fuck about any of the actual issues and shit. They just use it as a way to fucking pander and just like virtue and pretend they're on like the same fucking side as it. But fundamentally are just, you know, only there to be on its side, so to speak, when it's best suited for them and their fucking ideas and narrative and shit. Like, Pelosi could not give an iota of a fuck about the Russia-Ukraine war because she benefits from it. So it's like whatever best suits her narrative to make it look like she's like, oh yes, I'm on the side of the Ukrainians, you know, so she'll just do some weird-ass fucking creepy fucking virtue signal fucking bullshit, like have a fucking Bono poem or some shit, I guess. And then some river dance thing, I literally don't even know. I mean, there was also a time where they all decided to get together and kneel and have, like, fucking weird-ass... It's not even, like, weird-ass, like, robes or whatever, but they had, like, these scarves and stuff. I mean, what made it weird-ass was the fact that they were fucking doing it just on some weird little virtue signal photo op. That's what made it weird-ass. Like, the fact that they had these African scarves or something, like, the scarves themselves weren't weird. It's that you got these weird paisley-ass fucking nambly crypt keeper fucking politician motherfuckers who are doing it for their own fucking personal gain. I guess if there is any corporate appropriation, that would be it. Nancy Pelosi having like an African scarf, taking a kneel in some weird photo op, that's what it is. Like, and ugh. Like, that in itself should just be, can we just like make Nancy Pelosi's existence a crime? Can we just make it a crime? Just have her as an existence? What's with the the fucking like river dance fucking shit? It's like, yeah, like that's the most important thing right now in Congress, I guess, according to fucking Nancy Pelosi. Death penalty should change from death to having sex with Nancy or Hillary. Ugh. I mean, wouldn't it just be the equivalent? Because you'd basically just want to immediately die, like, after that happened? Or having to choose? Like, wouldn't that pretty much just be the equivalent? So, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just like, what we're saying is that there's no difference. It's just you're giving people a quote out, but it's just going to be so horrible and so just diabolical that there's just no way that anyone would take it. Unless they're just a crazy fucking weird freaky fuck. Whatever. Random shit's on it too, y'all. Then Houston Port always got some fun stuff. Europe's COVID surge suggests America could see another wave soon. I know a lot of people at this point, they're all like, yeah, unless I see another wave happen, I'm not gonna wear one. I'm just like, kind of still is. Like, I have my bandana on right now because I'm actually having some of my earth stuff ready to go in the wash, clean some of my neck gaiters. So it's just like, you know, I mean, all in all, it's like, I mean, I'm still at least, you know, willing to go out and at least wear something. I know people who think we should bring back gladiator games for death row mates, 100 kills, you go free with 100k winnings. Do people actually... Yeah, oh my... Well, yeah, you don't just, like, you know, have, like, a... oh my... That's basically just the Condemned the movie, but in reality. But strangely enough, it's actually not a bad movie. I wouldn't say it's great, but... It's a good movie. It's definitely got a social commentary on pretty much like the whole like privatized prison industrial complex, but also how like people have kind of like this, you know, urge to want to see like this kind of violence and death and shit that, you know, would come from something like that. Not just because of historical factors, but even contemporary things like kind of like Death Race, yeah. Or even, you know, looking at it in the real world, things like Live Leak. And before it got shut down, r/watch people die on Reddit. So, it's just like, there's definitely, I mean, or now, like, with this fucking Russia-Ukrainian war going on. Like, I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that are trying to see, you know, the most amount of, like, carnage, so to speak, out of it, you know, for whatever fucking reason, whether it's morbid curiosity or some legitimate thrill out of it, or whatever the fuck. I mean, I've stumbled on a lot of that type of stuff just out of more of curiosity, just about kind of like, you know, seeing into this type of stuff. But especially with like the Russia-Ukraine war and shit, there's definitely like there's been like a discovery of new ways that people can get fucked up and mangled. I'm just gonna put it that way. And it's reminded me of why I think I've had my fill, and my morbid curiosity back then was kind of quenched, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I had it quenched. I mean, yeah. There's definitely some new things that I was just like, okay, that's how like the human body can get like destroyed. It's like, oh, all right, good to know. Also, I think what's a little more fucked up is that some of the people that record them, because some people, like, I noticed that some people that are on front lines that are recording it and they happen to see some of the, death and some corpses and shit. Some of them will, like, like, kind of show, like, yep, here's some dead, Russian soldiers or some, just some dead people or whatever the fuck. And then they just kind of, continue moving on with some other shit. But every now and then, there'll be, like, a dude who'll be, like, yeah, here's some stuff. By the way, here's some dead people. And here, let's just get, like, a nice good zoom in. Let's get some details on that. Here's, like, a real nice part of their body that got fucked up. It's just, like, like, some videos, I'm putting more question of the person recording it more so than, like, the event itself. It's just, like, seems like you have a little bit of an interest of wanting to see what, like, a dead person looks like. It's like, that's kind of what gets a little turn off at that point. I guess in a weird way, it's just like I don't mind it as much if it's just like there, but if it's like someone's just like, yeah, let's get a nice little zoom in detail and get a little close up, it's just like It's like I don't need close ups. But some people. I know, at least on TikTok, especially at the beginning of the war, there was just like people who would literally just make accounts on accounts just to fucking record their like fucking battles and shit. Of course, they would get like banned very quickly, but they would always like continuously make accounts and shit just so they can just show what was going on, like literally on the ground. And I honestly, dead ass, I really hope that people have been kind of recording those. And at least, if there is a website, being able to put those out. Because that would actually be, again, it's a little bit morbid curiosity, I guess. But it would be really kind of interesting to see how, like in the very hot, elements of, these battles and shit, kind of seeing what, these modern wars look like. Because, I mean, it's not like, that type of shit is just going to only be there. I mean, it's very, it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say very likely, but it's possible that, these type of, battles could happen elsewhere. So it's just like, I mean, just even out of the curiosity's sake of seeing how that shit plays out, is, kind of a good little hindsight of mine. Especially when it comes to urban environments, considering that I live right next to a very urbanized environment. But I know I've definitely seen a lot of like the after battle events and shit, or like videos where it's more like on the sidelines. But like a lot of those like right in the heat, in the middle of it all, like, I mean, I haven't really seen much of that. It'd be pretty fucking crazy to see some of that shit though. Texas Sandstorm should be known as the Shapiro Zone, where logic and reason goes to die. Is that Florida right now? Doesn't Shapiro live in Florida? Or is he moving to Tennessee or something? He keeps moving. He's probably doing it because it's like a way for him to try to do like tax avoidance or some shit. It's probably got some fucking weird reason for it. So now he's in Tennessee. Gross. Like, I would say Nashville lost some respect points, but it's just like, I mean, Nashville's still got its rich history in music and stuff, so it's just like, I mean, Shapiro ain't there to taint it in itself. So it's like, I guess, it's not totally tainted, but it's definitely got some, Hey! Well, that was at least very short. A bouf and a bow. Zooks, you know you're just a goofball, right? Been to Shapiroville before. The food was overpriced and the pupper was mean. Well, yeah. I imagine that it would probably be a very mean pupper. Is it got that in the background? No, he's over by that door. Sure, is that the watch? He's probably just my roommate. Or just my leg. I'm doing the whole TJ thing. Yeah, it is. It is actually. Because that's my leg bouncing up and down. Up against the fucking this. Yeah, because Zukov is way over there. Aww. It's like, I want to go say hi to him, but he closed the door on me. Here, see about this whole. Some Chauvin news. See more about this.
So currently, as it stands right now in the United States, things are looking pretty good when it comes to COVID-19. New cases are down, hospitalizations are down, deaths are also down substantially, so this is all really encouraging to see. And as a result of the sharp decline in cases following the Omicron surge,
yay! Good stuff. Good news.
Have begun to ease up on what little restrictions they had left in place. For example, in my state of Oregon, we just dropped the mask mandate as of the 11th. And if you just ended the video right now, you'd come away feeling pretty optimistic about the pandemic, thinking that it might be over soon. But that's unfortunately not the reality, because there are some early indications that we may be expecting another wave. Don't shoot the messenger. This is just what the experts are saying.
Well, too bad I'm going to be shooting that messenger now. It's, you know, it's just like, the bullshit. Bullshit. Give me this good stuff and then you're giving me a bunch of malarkey. No, Jack. Rain down for that. Rain down for that malarkey. Yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised. From what I understand, though, that as these mutations do continue, they get less severe, but just a little bit more contagious. So, honestly, if that trend does continue, it will end up eventually being more of just kind of like a minor, and you know, if like respiratory digestive infection type of thing, more so than anything. You know, especially, you know, as, you know, more people get boosted and so on and so forth and all that shit. I mean, and or natural immunity, whatever the fuck. You know, as that continues to, you know, grow, you know, when it comes to just general herd immunity, then it just becomes less and less of a severe thing. While it'll still be more of an epidemic and just something that just kind of continues on, you know, and probably have seasonal surges where we might see some restrictions, you know, more seasonally, depending on, you know, how bad, you know, they may get. I mean, it's overall actually, you know, it's still a good thing, but it's not necessarily like good. It's more of like a neutral. It's like, I mean, it's not good that we're going to be probably seeing some more waves, but it would probably be, you know, less significant. But it's still something that's just going to be like, I mean, there's always just a likelihood that there can be a potential curveball where a mutation does get a little bit more deadly. Like, while this one might not be as deadly, the next mutation might. I mean, it, or, you know, might be just as, you know, if not maybe just a tad bit more deadly than these other ones. But, I mean, it's like, that's kind of at least, you know, the more you know, like, kind of risk element of, you know, of the lightening of, you know, certain restrictions, at least, you know, maybe more preemptively in certain places. At least I think for Oregon, it's not necessarily preemptively, because, I mean, cases around here have actually been pretty low, and, you know, deaths have, you know, decreased pretty substantially as well. So it's like, it's definitely not, like, out of the woods, so to speak, yet. But, I mean, you know, in comparison to our states, we're definitely been better off. So, I still think that, like, vax mandates should probably still be, you know, a thing, at least, I don't know, like, the end of the year, I guess. But after that, you know, see where we're at. But, I mean, I know that's not necessarily going to be the case, but, I mean, as time goes on, even my, you know, ideas of, you know, what should or shouldn't be restricted is going to lax away. And at this point, if it's like business discretion or some shit, then fine, I'll keep it on. It's whatever. And honestly, by habit, I'm going to anyway. Usually, especially with neck gaiters, they work really great to keep all this hair kind of contained, especially at work. So, honestly, I'm just going to continue to wear neck gaiters at work just for the, you know, just for that. You know, not even necessarily just to kind of cover the face up as a mask, but, you know, just to kind of keep all the hair contained. Another excuse not to wear a fucking hairnet. I hate those things. Because they, honestly, they don't really work. And they're really uncomfortable. But hats are better.
Foregone conclusion yet. I hope that this isn't indeed the case, but I would rather mentally prepare myself than kind of just be ambushed with a new wave and feel the depression that would come along with that. But regardless, let's look at why experts are saying we might want to buckle up for another wave here in the United States.
I won't be surprised for it.
Lenny Bernstein and Joel Egenbach of the Washington Post explain, a surge in coronavirus infections in Western Europe has experts and health authorities on alert for another wave of the pandemic in the United States, even as most of the country has done away with restrictions after a sharp decline in cases. Infectious disease experts are closely watching the subvariant of Omicron known as BA2.
Yeah, do you want me to scare fucking customers away? Just be like, excuse me, turn around, all you see is my eyes, and just like, that's it. And then people just be like, ah! Yeah, that would totally not freak people out.
More transmissible than the original strain, BA1, and is fueling the outbreak overseas. Germany, a nation of 83 million people, saw more than 250,000 new cases and 249 deaths Friday when Health Minister Karl Lauterbach called the nation's situation critical. The country is allowing most coronavirus restrictions to end Sunday. Despite the increase, the United Kingdom had a 7-day average of 65,894 cases and 79 deaths as of Sunday, according to the Johns Hopkins University Coronavirus Research Center. The Netherlands, home to fewer than 18 million people, was averaging more than 60,000 cases the same day. That's a lot.
Damn.
In all, about a dozen nations are seeing spikes in coronavirus infections caused by BA2, a cousin of the BA1 form of the virus that tore through the United States over the past 3 months. In the past 2 years, a widespread outbreak like the one now being seen in Europe has been followed by a similar surge in the United States some weeks later. Many, but not all, experts interviewed for this story predicted that this is likely to happen. China and Hong Kong, on the other hand, are experiencing rapid and severe outbreaks, but the strict zero-COVID policies they have enforced make them less similar to the United States than Western Europe. Okay, so...
Makes sense. I mean, honestly, some of those countries are lightening restrictions as some of these cases are rising, and it's just like, that shouldn't you at least continue them, you know, until they go back down again, at the very least, at that point? I should have face masks. Well, yeah. I mean, at the very least, why I got this while my other shit's gonna get washed, so.
It's happening in Europe, and whatever happens in Europe usually happens in the United States a couple of weeks later. So, before you get all down and doom and gloom, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. A couple of reasons for some hopium, right? First and foremost is that,
Or is it just copium? Disguised as opium.
There is a new wave. We don't know how big this wave will be. You know, it might not be as big as previous waves. It could just be a small spike. We don't know yet.
Also, I feel like it'll probably be likely the case. Because honestly, I mean, not just with vaccinations and, you know, boosters and that as well, but there's also going to be people that have natural immunity too. And with that, there's definitely going to be more of a, you know, likelihood of, you know, of a minimalization of these type of spreads. At least, you know, regionally. Some places are probably going to see worse spikes than others, and I'm mainly looking at the South. But outside of that, I mean, all in all, there probably isn't going to be as much of, you know, the severe cases, you know, people might think. Which I think is going to be overall generally pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be all doom and gloom about it. I just think it's going to be predictable, and as long as people just continue to, you know, kind of stay masked and, you know, get boosters, and if for some reason haven't yet, get vaxxed. I mean, it's just like, fuck. But, you know, if not, just whatever. Like, at this point, that's just not my concern. It's just, like, trying to get the fuck out of this goddamn pandemic. Which, you know, I mean, it really does kind of come down to people getting vaxxed, but whatever. Like, I mean, it's just like, there's other ways that we can get around this type of shit. And we're starting to get near that type of, you know, point, and unfortunately, we're just not necessarily having a government that's necessarily going to be too adverse on make sure we get through with that nicely. State by state, maybe. If you live in the state that actually gives a shit. But anyway. Get this last little bowl loaded up here. And then, give me a couple extra hours. Because I want some money. I also need to tell Rip City that this next paycheck, you know, is probably when I'll give him the money for the this little Walmart book thing. Just so, you know, just because this one's a little tight. So, pretty much whatever I have left now at this point will just basically go into putting it on the side for a couple other parts and shit. Because I still need to, I was going to order actually some sites for my Weatherby at least, because I found on eBay for like $40, like some really nice sites that can go on there. You actually get a little bit more of a lift on the sites too. So that'd be really nice. But still have to wait a little bit for the stock. And honestly, I might get a new bolt because I think there might be a crack in it, but I'm really not sure, and I really don't want to fucking learn to find out. I don't want to fuck around and find out next time I go shooting with it. So it's probably going to at least be a little while before I go shooting with that thing. Anyway, I'll be back later tonight. But at least in the meantime, peace out. And of course, I'll see y'all.